If you were to go and compile a list of some of the biggest stars in the world today, there's little doubt that Drake would be near the top of that list. The man from Toronto, Canada, has made a name for himself over the last decade as one of the best singers and performers in the business, and his success has led to him being worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But what exactly led him to doing so well? What were the secrets to his success? Allow us to break down how Drake became the world's biggest artist. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Humble Beginnings. We've all seen stories of young stars growing up to be legends in their industry and yet not exactly being the best people ever. But for Drake, that's mostly not the case, because when he was growing up, he was as basic as you could be for a very long time. You see, his father left him and his mother to go and pursue his own music career. It wouldn't pan out for the record, and that left the two in dire straits. But eventually, Drake got a major break via becoming an actor on the show Degrassi: The Next Generation. The show allowed him to not just get the money to help out him and his mom, but it also helped him get prepared for what was going to come next in his life. Because performing on TV is not that much different from performing in front of an audience on a stage or even shooting a music video. After he went and did his Degrassi stint, which was over 100 episodes and is something that he treasures to this day, he went and got himself onto the rap hip hop scene, and things took off from there. Number 7. He's really good at what he does. We can't state this enough because sometimes it honestly gets lost in the fold, mainly that Drake really is good at doing songs, while some have been more than happy to claim that he is a ghostwriter, which he vehemently denies. Drake has shown time and time again that he not only knows his skills, he knows how to go and make songs to get people talking, get people dancing, and then some. There are musicians out there that just know how to get things done, and Drake is one of them. A great piece of proof to this is that by the end of 2020, he's had well over 200 tracks that were on the charts in some form. Not all of them were number ones, to be clear, but it's still impressive nonetheless. Most people are happy if they get a couple dozen songs on the chart, but he has had a couple hundred. Think about the effort that would have to go into something like that. It's not an easy thing. Inspiration for some doesn't come easy, but for Drake, he just rolls with it. Whether it's doing pure songs, diss tracks, or beats like I'm Upset, which featured his Degrassi crew in the music video, where he voiced frustrations going on in his life, he has a way of just getting things out and making it so that people like them. Number 6. The digital effect. While there were fears platforms such as Spotify would decimate the industry, Drake has worked out exactly how to play it. The more songs you have, the more streams. The more streams, the more plentiful the chart positions. The more number ones, the more attention and acclaim you gain, and the higher your fee for touring and collaboration climbs. Every time he releases a record, you can expect to see most, if not all of a Drake album throughout the top 40. If he's not releasing his own records, he can be found on any one of his famous friends' hits. Drake is so savvy about streaming that in 2017, he decided not to release an album per se, but a playlist. That idea didn't particularly catch on, but More Life was so successful it broke previous records set by, well, Drake. On its first day of release, Apple Music reported that More Life was played 89.9 million times in 24 hours. He was also among the first to jump over to the gaming world, breaking more records by working with the platform Twitch, with more than 500,000 people tuning in to watch Drake play Fortnite in 2018 alongside Twitch legend Ninja. And this actually leads to another thing that Drake is good at. Number 5. Making the memes. If you go onto the internet, you're going to see memes. Some of them are big, some of them are small, but a lot of them have to do with Drake if you know what to look for. We all know the classic Drake doesn't like, Drake likes meme that has been used forever, and if you really dive into them, Drake has a lot of memes about him, intentional or not. Music fans note that Drake is one of the most memeable people out there, and he's okay with that. He's even gone on and used memes to go and promote his songs. He had an ACL injury one time that got memed into an actual Twitter account. Most celebrities would think that being memed is an insult to them, but Drake, he sees it as an opportunity, and that speaks volumes right there. Number 4. Rivalries. When it comes to the rap world as a whole, having beef is a major way of getting attention and focus on your product, especially when there are beefs with other big stars in the genre. And while not as many as other rappers, Drake has had some that made waves. From falling out with Chris Brown to allegedly being punched by Diddy, which Diddy later denied, Drake has had arguments with Meek Mill and Joe Budden, Kendrick Lamar, and Jay-Z. A long-running tension with Kanye West culminated in 2018 with the revelation via Pusha T that Drake had recently fathered a son. And then, of course, there was the infamous phone call that led to a 3-hour Twitter rant by Kanye. So, yeah, that happened. Drake has used these beefs to get more attention to his songs, especially when it came to the Kanye beef. So when a situation comes his way, he knows how to use it. Number 3, lack of scandals. While it's true that Drake has a temper and is known to sometimes get too passionate about his work, one of the things that people really love about Drake is that he isn't a guy prone to scandal or doing stupid things just because he can, which is a hallmark of the world of rap and hip-hop if we're being honest here. Yes, the son issue is one, but there was a reason why he took so long to admit he had a son, because he didn't think it was his at first. But even then, when he found out it was his son, he went straight in and started being a father to him. People like a person who don't have a lot of issues off-brand, and Drake is that. He's a good dude, which brings us to number 2, Toronto. There's no doubt that there are a lot of singers and performers out there who love to pay attention to their hometowns. But with Drake, it's another level of love that people appreciate. Drake doesn't just say he's from Toronto a lot. He likes to do all he can for the city whenever he can. He's set up his brand there to help get kids off the streets and into a music studio. He's gone and set up businesses in the area while also helping other businesses get more attention and patrons and such. He is the global ambassador to the Toronto Raptors and was there when they won the NBA title. He's helped endorse politicians. He sings about Toronto so much, he got it some nicknames, and on it goes. Toronto loves Drake because of all the love he gives to them, and that gives him a lot of listeners because who doesn't love a guy who supports his own? Number 1, ever evolving. Another thing that Drake does really well in regards to his songs is knowing how to adapt. It's true that he's a hip-hop rap star, but it's also true that he's gone and done style changes or changed up the flow of his tracks to symbolize or resemble other subgenres. Now, on one hand, this has gotten him some flack in regards to being an appropriator or a magpie in terms of not having his own style. But in truth, he just loves to do different styles of tracks and beats, and he likes to experiment. And he makes sure to pay respect to those who are in the genre full time. He'll even do styles that are outside his comfort zone, like when he did a collaboration in the Latin rap style where he sang in Spanish. You almost never know what to expect from Drake next, and that lets him go and do things that no one expects from him, which makes his tracks and albums all the better. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the various elements that led to Drake being one of the best musical artists in the world today? Do you understand why he is so good at what he does, including expanding his brand? What do you think the next big step for Drake is once the world goes back to its normal state? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.